This was supposed to be just an excursion to Bourg Saint Maurice, venturing a little further into the mountains for a holiday. And not harming any birds with any stone. Taking a van load of salvaged building materials to the barn conversion, the Grange. The stables, the écurie, and the grenier loft. Taking the salvaged building materials 1,000 miles more. Tools you will need for this holiday renovation task. A van, a rug for the midnight breakdown, oil to rescue the overheating, which will then be pent up by others, bike in a remote location, a sat-nav, a sense of urgency, belligerence, to grimaces and phone calls truncated at lack of finesse in French, money in the bank, which hasn't always been the case, phone and data. No, it wasn't effective, but making all those phone calls was calming, being something that you could do about your problems. And a London Oyster card for when you get back by your own 2 feet. To Dole, 1,000 kilometres through France, with a loved one by my side, not alone this time. But more was foisted onto my plate than I had anticipated. It became a week of intense work. Hemmed in by the tree-lined roads, you hardly see the rivers and the lakes when the leaves until the leaves have fallen and the trees are bare. I had planned to find a pleasant roadside air, fire up my own rather than use the supplied barbecue facilities, and break up the 1,000 miles with company rather than bleary-eyed slog pitching myself all the way. Péage Air, bubbling brook barbecue location with all their sanitary maintained facilities, shower, benches, cook pits. The trip timed for a guichet appointment at the local prefecture to gain citizenship. A citizen of both Britain and France for 10 years. An hour of shopping at one opening. The appointment wasn't going to get any squeals of holiday neglect. As it turned out, neither did the unwanted, unforeseen circumstances. Perhaps even a little grudging admiration when I disclosed how much it costs to repatriate a vehicle. Can you believe it? When a car dies abroad, you can't just scrap it, set it on fire and dump it in a river. The deceased vehicle has to be repatriated home to GB country these days. A stitch in time saves 9. We've made good headway on the 333 league journey. A league of old world measurement is 3 miles, 5 kilometres. But on holiday, hiking. Frog's legs are chewy and just a identity thing for a limited number of people. Fluffy marmots, rather plain to eat apparently. Pike tastes like cardboard, literally do taste like cardboard. All I can think about is phoning garages, can I get reception, research reconditioned engine suppliers, when I'm surrounded by the drama, the equal drama of the mountains that you can see in beautiful sunshine. I'm so grateful though for a deliberate mistake by a tobacco newsagent-sized pay-as-you-go phone provider shop. From an ATM cash machine you can print out a RIB. This can act as a proof of address. I had to show bills and letters to get this SIM contract. Brexit stops roaming, but no one would believe you at the time. When you could foresee this and tell them, they were in denial. To all intents and purposes, it looks like I've got a French bank account, but because it was set up pre-Brexit, it's got my UK address on it, England address on it. So I had to make it look like the machine had ripped off the address when it was being issued. Every half hour by car along the Isère Valley, there's a keep, a tower stronghold, just so many leagues walk from each other to
enable the easy paying of taxes and the keeping of the peace between the different strongholds.
I don't think I fooled him, but I played dumb and he readily accepted it. Me as dumb rather than not wanting to be overly pedantic. But walking up to the castle, above Bourg Saint Maurice, and that little bit further so you can look down upon it, is just scratching the surface of the vastness of the experiences possible. Hiking. I persuaded my partner to open their mind. They're more used to urban hiking. Someone for whom exercise is not usually considered good for you, though hard-working, can tend to be habitual loafers. Even for us, the fort, you can drive to it, but the fort was a visible, tangible...
Quite a lot of people around Bourg Saint Maurice speak patois, which is neither French or Italian. Patois isn't just Caribbean tropicalisations.
But the fort was a visible, tangible achievement with a reward. It spurs each stride and step. Stimulez chaque volet et chaque pas et étape. Brumier is comfortable. Brumier. After the sunshine, it was a cosy, foggy evening with authentic patois cuisine of the area, not far from the international train station. Now, I'm not saying that 1,000 miles is an arduous drive.
Bicycles dramatically changed society. Do you remember when you were a little child how you couldn't cycle out the end of your road? Electric bicycles must be the front line. We just don't realise we're caged now.
Not saying that 1,000 miles is an arduous drive. Perhaps it was the legs aching after discovering the new home range, familiarised and extended in depth, that
the need for an electric bike has been emphasised. Do I go for a legal 250 watt or a useful 1,000 watt to get up mountains? And the cost again of the battery, and the same cost again of a solar charger.
they chose to go home on the train through France rather than sit next to me, who had to... Perhaps it was the legs aching after discovering the new home range, familiarised and extended in depth, that miles is an arduous drive.
Do I know how much you recorded or not?
Next to me, who had to dump off a substitute hire van and get trains, planes and automobile hiking, with a ferry ship journey thrown in there for good measure. Drama and pantomime in the Alps with the Folie Douce vacated the vicinity, but the van is still in northern France and the best is yet to come.
Architecturally, a ceiling of lights form a coziness to the street.
The ceiling of lights, cosy and intimate, yes, but not a real pea super. The ceiling of lights almost acts like cat's eyes in a road, showing you the way. But with the shutters on French windows, there's the extra sense of desertedness and isolation. in acoustic terms as well as visual observation surveillance. Can you imagine what it would be like without streetlights? And in an even more populated area, tall, narrow streets of houses to make the most of what little warmth there is and provide shelter. But the gossip that maintains the social order and cohesion and fights crime starts to make a bit more sense, because everyone would know who the nighttime villains were. It really would be a hunt to find any other affair of a clandestine nature. And no, most people have electric heating and there isn't smoke from the log fire with a bit of coal thrown in. Visit days of yore in your mind's eye to appreciate now. So scary.
Au revoir, mon chéri. À bientôt.
On part de l'altitude, toi et moi. Bestemming naar Brussel-Zuid. Aankomst gepland voor 10 december. On n'a pas les tours de New York, on n'a pas de lumière de jour. 6 mois dans l'année, on n'a pas Beaubourg. Ni la Seine, on n'est pas la ville de l'amour.